Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm sitting down today to play with some elements from the Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft December kit. I've got the Wooden Flourish Pack Fancy Christmas by Craft. I've got an Art Emboss embossing folder here, and the theme is Garland. And I've got the Faux Christmas ribbons here by Papermania. So what I'm hoping to do is make some cards, some Christmas cards, using one, if not two, and if I'm lucky, all three of these elements on these cards. So stay tuned and let's see what I can come up with. So I'm starting off with some white cardstock by American Crafts, and I'm just going to give this embossing folder a go through my Big Shot. I just wanted to have a look at the pattern. And this is what it looks like here. It's supposed to be a garland theme, so I like how it cascades down. I thought what I'd try to do now is just use some of my Distress Oxides and put it on the side of the embossing folder that has the actual label on it. That way the recessed areas will get the color, and the baubles, or whatever the garland, they will be there will be the protruding ones, and they will not have color. So this is what it looks like, and that Distress Oxide is so juicy. You have to, mess. Have to make sure that you've got something underneath to clear it up. I'm trying now with Salty Ocean, and doing the same thing here, putting it through my Big Shot. And I really like this way of quickly making a background that's colored, whatever color you choose, whatever inks you've got or Distress Oxide, you could just apply it to your background. So really quickly, I wanted to double check also if this would work with black cardstock, so I only had the picket fence in the Distress ink. I'm not even sure if they make the oxides in the white. I need to check that. And I'm just applying it there one more time, and putting the black on and putting it through, and look at this. I really like this. And I thought I'd do one where I put the white ink on the opposite side, and just to show you, they're two completely different looks. I really like that. Okay, so with this first technique where I added the Distress Oxide to the embossing folder and run it through my Big Shot to produce these backgrounds. Now I just wanted to show you some of the cards that I did. This is the first one here, and with Salty Ocean on the background. And then for these ones, all I used was this, let me show you, this pack of like decoupage, I guess, maybe, you know, cut-aparts that came with like a magazine haul that I got, and I just put one in the middle and then one of the sentiments, and really it's the easiest way you can do it. So here's one. Here's another one where I also added ribbon to the top here and the bottom, and then I put another cut apart, and it's just the cutest little card. It's got gold foiling and a cute polar bear and ribbon, and there's another card done. For the third one, which is the black one, this one here, what I ended up doing was just using a tag die, and I cut out some of that beautiful Bo Bunny Magical Carousel Christmas papers that came with the kit, and put a few tags on, put the ribbons through the tag. I have one of these cute MFT polar bear dies, and another little tag from this one, and just got the cutest card with a really nice embossing background that you did yourself. And simple as that. Okay, so for my next card, I basically ran a white cardstock through with the embossing powder, and then I used this die, which I recently bought and I haven't had a chance to use yet, so really happy with this one. So I put that through my my Big Shot, and I came up with a panel that looks like this, and it comes up with 3 little holes, and then basically I used some of these really cute bears and I colored them in, one at the top and one at the bottom, and then in the middle here I just used one of my other little banners, and then I stamped Christmas wishes, and on the back of there I just used one of the Bo Bunny papers as the background, and just like that this card is done. Very cute. For my next card, this one here, once again I used the Bow Bunny papers as the background. I also used this bear here. And then I have another set of dies which I recently purchased that I haven't had a chance to use yet. It's the Wonky Stitches die by, I think it's MFT, I can't remember. So I used this size, which is the third largest. Yeah, so basically just ran that through. Yeah, so what I did first was you have to cut out what you need and then run the embossing folder through. If you do it the other way around, when you die cut, it squashes down your embossing, so it's best if you die cut first and then emboss, not emboss first then die cut. You know what I mean. So yeah, and then basically I just put that in the back there, put one of these cute little banners from the cut apart sheet, and that's another card done. So for card 6, what I'm doing here is I'm just finding the center of this card, and what I'm going to do is I am going to split the front of the card in half with my trimmer. Next thing is grabbing that embossing folder and then just putting the top part through the big shot, so that the top part is the embossed part only, and the bottom is still not embossed. Give you a closer look now. Just putting some cardstock, some craft cardstock behind it. Next thing I do is I grab pattern paper from the Bow Bunny Carousel Christmas, and I think I decided to go with the holly pattern paper. I did think I was going to put the Christmas tree, but I think the holly is a better look. And what I decided to do was just strengthen the back of that card with a little bit of this gingerbread paper, and then because there was not enough, so I ended up trimming the card. So the front of the card is just a little bit smaller than the back of the card, and then I thought, well, I might as well go ahead and add some more pattern paper on the right hand side of the card where you write your sentiment. And what I did was I just put one little strip of the green so that you could, I like it when the inside of the card is not totally stuck down. So I grab my scissors here and just cutting that off. So there are two different panels, and I kind of like how interactive this is. The next thing I do is I grab this ribbon from the kit, and I choose two colors of ribbon to match the holly paper. So I've got green and red, and I'm just matching up the sizes here. And I started doing this halfway through the year when Aunty Vera started giving us ribbon almost every other kit, and I'm like, I need to find a way to use ribbon. And I really like this way of just putting like kind of like tabs, kind of like side banners. I love getting a little bit of ribbon and then grabbing my tiny stapler and then making just a little banner off the side of a page, and it looks nice. I like it. I love the feel of it. I love how it encourages you to play, and I don't know, very playful. I kind of like this. And so yeah, that looks really good. Then the next thing I do is I just grab one of the sentiments and I put it through the middle there, so it doesn't, it allows the card to stay kind of closed. Now I made another one ahead of time here, and I put a little penguin. He's so cute. And he is holding a wooden veneer or veneer star. I really like how that looks. And the other card just has that cute bauble on the inside. So yeah, you just kind of sit there and play. So for card 7, I decided to do a horizontal card for once. I usually do vertical, so I thought I'd do a horizontal. This is 6x4. And what I'm going to do again is put the embossing folder down the opposite way so that only 3/4 of the front embosses. So that's what that looks like there. And I'm going to grab some of these stitched nested circle dies, and I'm just going to see what size best suits. So these are the three like largest ones, and I decided to go for the second largest and the third. And I cut one out of pattern paper, and I cut a second out of just plain cardstock. just to back it up. So I'm going to cut the part of the front here that is not embossed, so about 3.5 there. And I'm just going to layer these two circles together. I like that look. So just applying double-sided tape here, and then I'm going to add it there. So next I decide to grab some more ribbon in a second here, and yeah, so I'm going to do a little like kind of belly band down the side there, and I faff about with this. It's really embarrassing. I just kept going until I didn't realize that I'd run out of battery, and I just did and untied it and tied it and untied it, and I really need to learn how to tie a bow. And there's this really cool way with a fork, and I couldn't be bothered to get up. So this is what you missed here. So I put the poinsettia sticker at the front there, and I also put some of the pattern paper on the back. And I like how it looks. I love how you can see the pattern paper that's on the back sheet through the front. And what I thought I would do also is just add a little bit of white paper there so that you can write your sentiment. But I just love this card. It's so cute. So card 8 is one where I grabbed one of the earlier backgrounds that I made with the embossing folder and the Distress Oxide. I have this Alterations die, which is like a honeycomb, I think. I cut it out of black, and then I cut it out of pattern paper because I thought the black was too stark. These Prima flowers came from the November kit, and I didn't get much of a chance to use them, so I thought I'd do one here. So I kind of wanted to make one of those pretty shabby chic kind of cards. So I introduced doily, and then I introduced flowers, and I think it looks really soft and really nice. I mean, really, it's not a style that I often go for because I find it really really hard to do. I don't know why. I love it. I love it when I receive it, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could make that. So I really should try to make it more often. So here I am trying to make it. I also have this Sizzix feather die, and I just cut a couple of feathers here. And I'm just faffing about. I'm just so not confident with making these shabby chic. I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it, I think. And I got this little stamp from my stash, and I colored her in. She's so pretty. She's a little caroler, and she's so happy, and she's singing, and it looks, just from the background there, it looks like it's snowing, and she's all happy. I really love the look of this card. So what I'm going to do here is, before I stick down the background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, once again, that little bit of ribbon banner kind of feature down the side, and I chose blue and pink, I think. Oh, red. Blue and red. And I'm just going to do that feature one more time, and then I'm going to stick down the background to the front of the card so that you don't see the staples behind, if you know what I mean, so that when you flip the card over to open it, you don't see a staple through on the other side. And I'm going to try one more time to arrange this. I'm going to put the little girl on top of the honeycomb just to cover up that edge. And I'm going to layer her with the feathers as well. I'm just bunching up this flower because I feel like it's too big. And I'm going to stick everything down. So here we go, and what I ended up doing was the sentiment, I dipped it in Versamark, then I heat embossed it with gold embossing powder, and it made it stand out. So on the inside of the card, I added a strip of washi tape to make for the allowance that I cut from the front there, and I really love how that card turned out. I'll show you more at the end of the video. And so, okay, so this is a new thing that I tried. I never do front folding cards. I always do left folding card. So this time I grabbed some cardstock and I cut it front folding like this. so, or top folding, I should say. What I did was I had a little bit of scrap of the holly paper left over, so I put that there, and then I put some cardstock, some white cardstock at the top there just to complete that panel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that entire, oh yeah, no, and one more thing is the ribbon. Now, I'm still not sure if I should have done what I did, but it turned out okay, but I could have broken my machine. So I put the ribbon on to cover the border between the two, and then I sent this whole thing through put it in the embossing folder and then put it through the Big Shot, and it was tight there for a second, and I thought, have I done the wrong plate settings? But then I remembered that the ribbon was there, and I was lucky that I didn't break it. But look how gorgeous. Even the ribbon has the embossing pattern on it. I think it's just so gorgeous. Like, I'm going to do more of this because I really enjoyed it. So this is the other girl that I colored in. She's going to go here. And I found this Seek Peace veneer. It's so beautiful. I just had to go there. And for the inside, what I ended up doing was getting a 4x6 journaling card, product life card, and I just put it in there so that you could write a sentiment. I'm trying to get it straight here. And voila! Card is so beautiful. It's one of my favorites. I love it. The last card of the day is this one here, and this is the third little girl that I had colored in. I wanted to use that sandpaper, but it was going to be too busy, so I decided to use the reverse. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure that the paper is kind of just enough so that she's on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reverse of what I did at the last one. So in the last one, I embossed the top layer of the card, and for this one, I'm going to emboss the bottom layer of the card. And here we go. So I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to cut that, so about 2/3, maybe half, maybe. The front of the card is only a half or just under half. And I'm going to pop her up with some foam tape. I love this one. She's got these little, she's giving presents to those penguins. Totally cute. And then the other part, I tried to use this Kaisercraft. Sorry, Kaisercraft, but seriously, you need to put words in these wood pieces. So I love the part that said peace and love from my stash. So that ended up going there. So that front panel is done. And for the inside panel, I decided to emboss, put some blue cardstock through the embossing folder and put that into the inside. And I love how you can see that from the front of the card as well. I just love these, just so interactive. I'm really enjoying just mixing it up a little bit. I feel like I stepped up a level with interactive cards. So now I thought it was time to bring in some more ribbon. I'm really getting into the ribbon now. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to have it. And then I love this red and white one because it kind of matches her Santa hat. I love how it goes here down the side, and then when you close the front down, you can still see it. So it's just so beautiful. I love it. Look at that, and that's done. This is also one of my favorites. So these are all my cards. I've really enjoyed making these. I love how it went from really simple to really interactive and different than what I usually make. Oh, I love that little penguin one. You just want to play with those interactive ones and those little ribbons up the side. That horizontal one is a new one. I've never done that before, and I'm going to start making more of these sizes. My pretty shabby chic, very cute, and that strip of washi is gorgeous. And the two little girls, Seek Peace. I love that one. I love the green and pink. It's a lovely combination. And last of all is peace and love. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Have a happy holiday, and I'll see you in the new year. Thank you so much.